Wonderful people, viewers and subscribers all over the world, I greet you all and welcome you all to another episode of Biafra Must Go. Before it used to be Ghana Must Go, now it is Biafra Must Go. Where are they going to? Biafra must go to their promised land. The land that is filled with milk and honey. The rising sun, the rising sun. The promised land. The land that is filled with gas deposit and also many mineral resources being blessed by the Most High. echokE Abiyama. IPOB struggle for self-determination will have been crumbled if it was money-centered. Well, yes, it was money. If it would have crumbled without the presence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, continue with the presence of Simon Ekpa Njoku. IPOB would have crumbled if they leave it at the hands of the so-called DOS, Ndori, and IPOB Nigeria, the criminals that is working with or rather that was working with the late Ifeanyi Uba, the capital lawyer, and the hands of also the so-called Anambra Vigilante group, AVG. Anyway, I don't want to take much of your time. I want you to enjoy this Sunday by listening to this very important news that is coming from the platform of Okute Daily Talk. You like, you share, you comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. This message is supposed to go viral so that it will get to the ears for those called these miscreants called the DOS and also the IPOB Nigeria, because they have been doing everything humanly possible to make sure that they stop the degradation of the United States of Biafra. If care is not taken, I can tell you that DOS Nigeria is among those who are planning to bring the Fulani IDPs into the Biafra land. They can do anything for money. They are money monger. They sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They sold the Southeast. As a matter of fact, Operation Python Dance was orchestrated by a core DOS who is working with the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Go and verify. I beg, let us go straight to the reason why we are here. We don't have much time to waste. In another news, this Yoruba, what I call it, this political prophet. He said 2027 presidency, Saraki P2B answer to PDP. Primet Ayodele. Anyway, let me leave it at here. When we come back, we are going to dissect all these messages to our own understanding. Recently, the Nigerian Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, in an interview with one of the Nigeria's TV station, TVC News, opined that the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB movement and her struggle for self-determination and independent state of Biafra from Nigeria is a parochial rather, and money driving. Say it's money driving. Has nothing to do with agitation against marginalization. But of course, this is obviously a clear display of an ignorance born out of incompetence, or it is a deliberate derogation of an indigenous people's noble quest. In Mr. Christopher Musa's very own words, the IPOB are doing for their own selves. A lot of them are doing it for money they are making. They are not fighting for any region. They are fighting for themselves. So if they are not fighting for a region, they are fighting for themselves, then why are you disturbed? Why are you worried? It is imperative to buttress that the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, movement is non-violent and as such obtains the funds for the activities via peaceful means. More precisely, via crowdfunding by active members of the movement all over the world and supporters who deem it important to support the struggle for emancipation against the marginalization being meted against Ndi Igbo Biafrans. This has been true for IPOB since inception in 2012. IPOB adopted the crowdfunding technique of Dei Samumbakwe, the late former governor of Imo State, whose efforts gave birth to the first international airport in the southeast after the Biafra genocidal war of 1967 to 1970. After 1970, the Fulani government of Nigeria refused to commit to any developmental infrastructural project in the region. They bombed into oblivion for 30 months. Thus, the governor at his time passionately employed every household, community, indigene, and clan, not only in Imo State, but across Southeast to generously crowdfund the construction of the airport in the state from ground zero till its final completion, making it arguably the only project of such magnitude and calibre in the world to become a reality under such community-based circumstances. The freedom movement adopted this method since our methodology to Biafra restoration is intentionally inspired to avoid a reputation of belligerence over the Biafra quest. As much as possible, also under such circumstances, the movement cannot task the people to fund struggle for Biafra self-determination quest. Secondly, such restraint of non-violent approach to agitation hinders the IPOB movement from getting distracted onto a certain control over natural resources obtained abundantly in Biafra land, which would undoubtedly provoke an inflow of more Nigerians armed forces into a peaceful region and could undermine the position of IPOB as a non-violent group. And had that been the case, logic dictates that IPOB under such situation will be compelled to engage the military and other Nigerian armed forces in defense of their loots and position on those natural resources. But that never served as the movement's source of income and funds generation. Yet the movement has kept alive and hardly kicking. So on this premises, IPOB chose to crowdfund her way out of operation, having learned from the outstanding precedents set by the day Sam Mbakwe of Imo State, though the intensity of the projects in question, when juxtaposed, are incomparable and humongous. Nevertheless, for IPOB, it has to be done, and there is no other way. In fact, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB movement, who is still currently being incarcerated in ZUU, popularly maintained before his abduction, not only the IPOB global family will fund the movement for Biafra restoration until it is achieved. And the IPOB leadership who have disciplined themselves to stay on this course amidst pressing challenges which arose after the IPOB leader was abducted and extraordinary rendition from Kenya in 2021. Events which lead to the confiscation and grounding of the IPOB international account in Germany, which in it house generous contributions from members of the global IPOB family. It must be acknowledged that after the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, many elements sprung up and tried to inject, hijack, and divert the IPOB Biafra struggle into a money-making venture, some of whom went as far as using insecurity to indirectly tax unsuspecting members of the people, kidnapping, looting, and seizing properties of the people. The IPOB leadership decried certain elements, using its name unbeknownst to them to go solicit for funds from political figures in various levels in Nigeria, and they, IPOB leadership, constantly denounced such, maintaining that the IPOB movement does not operate in such a manner. All of which ongoing is to have been a covert operation and orchestration sponsored by the Nigerian government's security and intelligence agencies to either compel IPOB into making hard decisions and compromising on her modus operandi in terms of financial sustenance, and to dispel and discourage contributors all over the world in the IPOB family to discontinue their inputs, thus leading to the collapse of the movement. There was also a plan to turn the people in their homeland against the leadership of IPOB movement as a consequence of the impersonation, criminality which its perpetrators hide under the name of IPOB or Biafra agitation to commit against the people of the region. Though all these have failed, as none of the objectives were attained to any reasonable or substantial extent. The orchestrators are not stopping, and this explains the recent commentaries of the Nigerian defense chief. The agenda is still much alive. The IPOB movement survived the financial sabotage at its heart since 2021 because its contingency plan, the IPOB global family, do not falter and abandon the struggle and movement, even when there were pseudo, man-made or rather enemies covertly sponsored reasons to do so. Now the Nigerian defense chief is out to resurrect and project this agenda, showing that the government is far from seeking detent the IPOB movement or the Biafra quest for self-determination. Contrary to the rhetorics of few uninformed fellows who think or believe they have been assured of a negotiated conclusive end in favor of all. The only thing hindering the agenda of the demonizing IPOB in the eyes of the people is the institutionalized hate and phobia against the people of eastern Nigeria, Igbo and Biafrans. The Nigerian government institutions, including its armed forces, cannot help this as it is congenital, but continues to pursue the global or the goal of destroying IPOB, which is by and widely viewed by the people as a dome of defense and an output medium to mainstream their plight to the global community. This is why the agenda is failing and cannot hold water. The IPOB movement has undergone through very stiff challenges but has stayed true to its conviction and principles. It has refused to be compelled to change course, and even when planted elements from the within attempted to become willing tools, they were expelled immediately. Such discipline and passion is a precedent that is feared and is clear for targeting in the eyes of the powers that be. Therefore, it is worth noting that the IPOB struggle for self-determination will have crumbled if it was money-centered, as claimed by the Nigerian Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa Akpamo. But rather, the struggle for Biafra restoration is divine and ordained. It is the only hope and a contingency for the people of East. This is why the people, whom by the way funds it, will never abandon nor repel it or get tired, no matter the attempts or orchestrations of the government. So it is time for the opposing parties to come to this indisputable reality and take the necessary steps. A referendum is not a death sentence. It is a voting process to resolve a political solution through a popular will of the people. Use it now or you lose it all. For the Family Writers Press International. 2027 presidency. Premier League prophet don't come again. The leader of the Evangelical Spiritual Church, Primate Elijah Ayodele, has identified two eminent personalities who can return the People's Democratic Party PDP back to power. Primate Ayodele said former Senate President Bukola Saraki and Peter Obi have the capacity to return PDP back to power. In a video he released, the clergyman said PDP should give its presidential ticket to Saraki and Peter Obi. According to Primate Ayodele, Saraki is a presidential material and not for chairmanship. He said Saraki Obi is the answer for PDP. Peter Obi should return to PDP and contest. There are other 4 people who can lift PDP back to the limelight. Give them the so-called ticket. If PDP want to win their subsequent election, David Mark is the answer. Saraki is not chairman material but presidential material. The PDP has lost the last 2 presidential elections or selections rather to the All Poverty Congress APC. PDP is currently experiencing leadership crisis with members of the party calling for the removal of the acting chairman, Omar Damagum. Some PDP chieftains have claimed that Damagum will destroy the former ruling party, according to the information where they before us here. So, my good people, we don't have much to say. Now, here we will take back break. Happy Sunday once again. It shall be well with all of us. And may the good Lord continue to bless us, prosper us, and also guide us through this thing and hard times, that we may excel more than those who have seen us like on our Korai. Anyway, my wonderful people, I beg make a like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. I'll be right back.